Welcome to my YouTube channel, VB Academy of Commerce and Business Studies. I am Dr. Vijayagiri Bhikshapati, Head Department of Commerce, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar, Telangana, India. My email address is bvijayagiri@gmail.com. I am going to deliver a lecture on measure of skewness. It is part and parcel of the BCom third semester business statistics subject. In the earlier classes, we have dealt with the different types of methods, measures, including the averages, measure of dispersions, and this is with regarding to the skewness. Before starting to the measure of skewness chapter, so we have already learned about the data and its normality. Data and its normality is the assumption, the major assumption of the business, the statistics, the subject of the statistic itself. So normality means there is no bending in the curve. The all the elements in the data set are symmetrically dispersed from the mean median mode. This is the central point. So symmetry of the distribution, that is the important point in the statistics. Then what is the opposite of symmetry? Asymmetry, or it is also called as skewness. Called as skewness. So skewness means it is not having the symmetrical position of this distribution. The data has been inclined to one side, that may be the left side or right side of the mean or median. So that's why it is very important to learn the data and its properties according to the given values. So hence it is very important to learn about this skewness. So going to the data, the chapter, if the recorded values are values for a variable form a symmetrical distribution, the median mean are identical. This is what the meaning of this one. So in skewed data, the mean lies further towards the skew than the median. So mean median are not having in the same line are identical. It is some extent to skewed. So further, skewness refers to a distortion or asymmetry in a symmetrical bell curve. So you may be knowing that the data is assumed to be in this manner from the both sides, whereas the line is not very straight, though you assume that the line is very straight. So where this mean is equal to median is equal to mode, when this data follows the symmetry, when it is symmetrical. So the opposite of symmetrical is called asymmetry, not having proper bell curve. This is called bell curve. This curve is called bell curve. Bell curve. Okay. So skewness refers to distortion or asymmetry in a symmetrical bell curve. Okay, this is also called normal distribution. Normality is there. Normal distribution it is called, right? Normal distribution. If the curve is shifted to the left or the right or to the right, it is said to be skewed. Skewness means having a bend. For example, let us understand with a small graph. This is what a inclination where the mode is exist. This is median. Approximately this is x bar, means mean. So like this is negatively skewed. We call it as negative or left side skewed. The same we can also draw in this way, that this is skewed towards right. So mode, median, x bar. Okay, so these are the relation between the skewness and the three important basic averages. The normal distribution has a skew of 0. Skew of 0. There is no bend at all. There is no inclination at all. While a log normal distribution have some degree of right skewness. So that is a different kind of one. But whereas coming to the normal one, there is no skew at all. Zero skew. In the log normal, there may be, it is found that some extent it is right skewed. Okay, so this is with regarding to the basics of the skewness. To understand the data of whether this data is inclined to other word, one word or other is called skewness. So the same is explained with the graphs which I already drawn. So x bar is equal to median is equal to mode. This is called symmetrical, or it is also called bell-shaped curve. Bell-shaped curve. Bell-shaped curve. It is also called normal curve or distribution. Either the distribution or this curve is called distribution. Okay, so where this one is x bar, median, mode, median, x bar. So this is negatively skewed, whereas this is positively skewed. Okay, so by doing calculations, we will understand the skewness or the bending or the curve inclination to one side or not of the data is found. If the recorded values for a variable form a symmetric distribution, mean, median, mode are identical. This is what we going to tell. So any methods of calculations? Yes, there are mainly important methods are Carl Pearson's method. So is a great person. His name always appears in the statistics. So Carl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Since it is a relative measure, relative measure, we call it as a coefficient. The another person is Bowley. It is in 1990s onwards, 1991 onward. In 1919, 19th century or 1900s, the Bowley has contributed this formula. So this is also an important formula. Whereas another formula is also exists, but it is not that much important. Maybe it is Kelly's measure. Kellys measure. Number 4 is it is moments measure. Right. So, but we are going to deal with these two methods in depth, in detail only. Whereas this may be part and parcel of the theory, but we are not going to deal with this one. Okay. Next, we are dealing with slowly with the method 1. So the method 1 says, what is method 1? Carl Pearson coefficient of skewness. So the great man Carl Pearson said SKP. SK means skewness. This is the symbol for skewness. SK. So why the subscript P? P means Pearson. So in case of Bowley method, SKB, we will write B. SKP means Pearson. By seeing this, the statistician will understand that this is a method of Carl Pearson. So what he said, mean minus mode by standard deviation. To identify the skewness, he given a formula mean minus mode by standard deviation. So this is by simplification x bar minus mode by standard deviation or sigma. This is called, this is x bar, this is mode and median not having any symbols, but we will write for mode MO, median ME, for easy understanding purpose. And there is one more problem. As we learned that mean, median, mode, calculating mean, median and mode, these may be calculated, whereas mode cannot be calculated some size. There are difficulties. This is called, we call it as ill-defined, because there may be more than one mode, bimodal or trimodal, or some data may be flat. So ill-defined mode may be exist. In that case mode cannot be calculatable. At that time, what we do is along with this formula, 3 into x bar minus median, 3 into x bar minus median divided by standard deviation. This is also a proposal given by the Carl Pearson. When there is mode is not calculatable, then you use this formula. This is one kind of one. Okay, so the SKP is the value lies between plus or minus 1. So since it is a relative measure, it always between plus or minus 1. So if minus values comes, it is you have to what we call narrate it as a negatively skewed distribution, whereas when it is a positive distribution, plus value, you have to narrate it as a positive distribution. Okay, so with these two formulas, two kind of methods of formulas. So one is when we are able to find mode, and another one is mode is not findable or ill-defined. These two cases we can calculate the coefficient of skewness. So okay, we'll go with some data. Oh, of course. So we already dealt with the what we call individual data. Then number 2, discrete data. Number 3, continuous data. This the continuous data. So to calculate the mean, median, mode, or what we want x bar, we want mode, and we also want standard deviation. These three calculations, one is dispersion, these two are averages. These two are averages, this one is a dispersion. Three types of calculations we already done in the previous classes. So the formulas for each of the average or the standard deviation have its own formula for individual data, discrete data, continuous data. What we want now is just the final values of x bar, mode, standard deviation. However, we try to calculate a problem with full length. Okay, this is what kind of data? Data is given the number of rejects per operator, 21 to 25, 26 to 30, 31 to 35, 36 to 40, like that up to 55 it is given. So number of operators are given as a frequency. So this is called frequency, this is called class. Hence it is a continuous data. So we are asked to calculate mean, standard deviation, and coefficient of skewness. Of course, we need, otherwise we cannot do. So mode also required. If mode is ill-defined, we definitely have to go to the median. So let us see whether mode is available or not. We'll see. So however, we can, by seeing itself, is we are able to identify. Okay, anyway, we'll deal with one by one. Right. So this is the table generated with the earlier this data, 21 to 25, this data. Right, this is the data is given. These two columns are given, the 1 and 2 columns are given, whereas the mid value have been taken between these two, 21, 25. In between number is the 23. We already dealt with this one. So 21 plus 25 by 2, you will get this answer. So to calculate mid value, what we have to do? So lower value plus upper value divided by 2. Okay, this is lower value, this is the upper limit, lower limit. Okay, so this is the lower limit, this is upper limit. So L plus U by 2, you will get this middle value. Why we need it? According to the formula for it may be the arithmetic mean. X bar is equal to sigma f m by n, or m may be also called or easily interchangeable with x. Okay, so that's why we needed this one. So whereas we used, instead of direct arithmetic mean, we used assumed mean. Assumed mean is, so where a is called assumed mean. Deviations are taken from assumed mean. Okay, we'll go with this table and calculate the what we call x bar and standard deviation. So to calculate x bar using the assumed mean has been taken. A is equal to 38, then h is equal to 5. X bar is equal a plus f dx by n into h. H is nothing other than, we have taken, for taking the assumed mean, so we have taken both values. Here 38 by 5 taken. Okay, first x minus 35 we have taken, then made it with divided by 5. Hence the as we have divided by 5, so now we have to multiply the same h. It is also called with I also. I means used the interval or the whatever the item you have taken. So this is what 38. What we have taken 38. 38 is this one. Whereas so sigma f dx, go to the formula. So according to the formula, what we have taken, d came 23 minus 38 by 5. This is the 3. Like 28 minus 38 by 5 minus 2 minus 1 0, like that, like that, like that. So dx is d square or dx square, there is no difference. So d square or dx square, dx and d are both interchangeable. Okay, so 3 3 are 9, 4 1, like that. So we have done. So whereas f into dx, f means frequency, 9 5 are 15, 9 3 are 15 dx, whereas dx square 9 5 are 45, like that we have calculated this. So sigma f dx which is used now is minus 25. Okay, minus 25. So this is what minus 25. Okay, this one is minus 25. Whereas coming to the 120, where is 120? This n is called 120, right? So n is equal to 120. So 120. Okay, so y5, this is the class interval or the b divided by with the 5. Hence we have to calculate with these values 38 plus, so all this entire bracket. Okay, entire bracket, this last only we have to do this 38 minus 125 divided by 120, so you will get 36.96. okay, 36. So arithmetic mean is 36.96 rejects per operator. This is also called per operators. Okay, whereas how to calculate standard deviation? Standard deviation is calculated in the same manner by using the formula. This is we have taken assumed mean method. So standard deviation is equal sigma f dx square by n minus sigma f dx by n whole square into I. I means we used there, that's why we are now using. So if we are not using the I value or the h value 5, so we need not put here. Okay, understand? So this is what with regarding this one. So by substituting the values, this is f dx square 223 25 120. So 223 120 minus 25 by 120 whole square. So 223 by 120 you will get 1.86 by calculations, whereas 25 by 120 first you have to divide it so that you will get the 0.208 value. So for that you put the whole square, so into 5 always remains. So the next level 1.86 minus whatever the 208 into 208, so 0.04 you will get. So then you will get 1.82 under root. You remove that under root so that you will get after the operation of under root, so 1.35 1.35 into 5 times you will get the 6.75. Okay, so with this the what we call it is, we we have calculated 6.736 as rejects per operator is the standard deviation, SD. Okay, so we have calculated so far x bar arithmetic mean. So this is what x bar arithmetic mean, also called simply mean. Arithmetic mean is also called simply mean or x bar. So x bar and standard deviation we have calculated. Now we are going to calculate the mode. The same table has been taken once again here, but we don't need all other items except the middle value and also this one, the frequency. Okay, so here you even middle value also doesn't require. So let us see how it is calculated. So we want only frequency and class. First we have to identify the where the highest frequency exists. So in the total data, 42 is the highest frequency. So this is called modal class. This class is called, that's why I kept the different color yellow. So this is called modal class. Model class. What is the formula? MO is equal to L plus F1 minus F0 divided by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into I. Okay. So with this formula, what is the F1? F1 is nothing other than the frequency of, this is called F1, frequency of the same model class. F0 is called previous class of the previous frequency of the model class. So F2 is the next frequency, subsequent frequency of the model class. Okay, the I means 36, 40 minus 36, you will get the 5. 40 minus 36, 40 minus 36, you will get the 5. Okay, so I think you got all the values. Yes, 36 is the lower value. Lower limit is called 36. L is equal lower limit. 36 plus 42 minus 28, F1 minus F0. This is 2 into F1. So 2 star means 2 into F1. 42 minus 28 minus 15. So that 14 by 41 you will get into 5. So after multiplication, after division, everything 1.71 you will get. So 36 plus 1.71, we have taken 37.7. Okay, so I just left the last digit of the 1. It may be ignorable. So hence the modal value or mode is calculated, mode is 37.7 rejections per operator. Okay, according to the data we have calculated this one. So this calculation is now required the calculation for coefficient of skewness. So according to the Karl Pearson method, what is the formula? SKP is equal to mean minus mode by standard deviation. So we have taken the calculated values here. Arithmetic mean is equal to 36.96. Number 2, standard deviation is equal to 6.736. Number 3, mode is equal to 37.70. Okay, so in the earlier slide we got 37.7 for mode. In the before slide, 36.96 is the arithmetic mean, whereas 6.736 is the standard deviation. Okay, now by substituting all these values you will get 36.96 minus 37.7 divided by 6.736, you will get the minus 0.109 or 0.11. Otherwise you can write it as a leaving into minus 0.11. Okay, so this is what the coefficient of skewness. So how to interpret this thing? Since it is a minus value, it has the negatively skewed. Okay, we'll go to the figure once again. So negatively skewed means this one. So okay, so negatively skewed. So we'll if you draw the same and interpret, it's well and good like this. So since the data is, you just put all this value 37.7, this is mode, then one more is 36.96, this is mean. Okay, so this is what negatively skewed. The skp, you got skp is minus 0.11, hence negatively skewed. The distribution is negatively skewed and hence the concentration of the rejects per operator is more on the left side. This is what we have to interpret. Okay, so the method of Carl Pearson skewness has been explained for today. So according to this method, we have to calculate the mean, median, standard deviation, and mode. These three valuations are required. If mode is ill defined, we also need the median. Okay, so with this I thank all of you for patiently hearing my lecture. So please subscribe my YouTube channel, VB Academy of Commerce and Business Studies. Thank you.